to the September, I'm trying to figure out what month it is, September board meeting. I just got back from the Texas Travel Alliance board meeting and summit. So I am got back late last night. So I'm kind of not sure where I am. I'd really like to still be on the beach in Galveston, but if I can't be on the beach, the Piney Woods of East Texas are the next best thing, right? So with that, we will go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is approve the minutes that were sent out in our board book. So if you all could take a minute to look at the minutes, and then I'll entertain a motion to approve our minutes.
I believe there might be 2 sets of minutes in there. Is that correct, Sherry?
Yes.
Okay, do
So
we need to
One
we'll-
from
separate
July,
motions?
one from August.
So do we need to approve those separately?
I don't believe so, as long as the motion is worded in such a way as to include them both.
Okay. So we're looking at the minutes from our regular board meeting of August 17th. And then we have our board meeting of July 20th.
Shay, it looks like John typed it in the chat box.
Okay, great. So thank you for monitoring that for me. So John has moved to approve both sets of minutes. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that. Oh, Larry.
Larry beat you to the punch, Alex.
He did. Okay, it's okay.
Okay, so Larry King has seconded. All those in favor indicate aye.
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 All right. Is that your left eye or your right eye, John? Just kidding. Okay, great. We have approved the minutes, and we're going to move on to financials, and Cheryl's going to talk to us about money.
You're muted, Cheryl.
Oh, yeah, I just undid it. Okay, can you hear me now? Hello? Okay. You should have gotten the financial statements in your email. The same things that I've been saying, the things that really stand out are our website is over pretty significantly over budget, but that's because of our changeover from Simple View to Sapphire. And the servicing and events income and expenses both are over budget because we did not know what to anticipate. Same song, second verse every month. Everything else is pretty much in line. I think we'll be okay by the end of the year. We've got a few more weeks left in this fiscal year. So any questions?
I'm good. Thank you, Cheryl.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I keep getting these fantasy football notifications. I got to figure out how to turn that off. Okay, great. So thank you so much. And we will move on to our first item of business, which is establishing a regular meeting time for this board. We've had a request from a board member to find a different time to meet, although I'm not sure if he still has a conflict during this 3 o'clock hour, but we do have a new board member. And so I know Sherry's tried a couple of times to get us to indicate to her our meeting preference time. We haven't been able to all come together on that. So I really like to try to leave this meeting with a regular meeting time.
Just
So-
for reference sake, when I first got here in the end of 2017, we were meeting in our basement, like at 8:30 in the morning. We always had morning meetings. And then just a few years ago, we moved to afternoon meetings. So they can be any time of the day. I've always found the easiest way is to first narrow down a day. So is it going to be the first Wednesday or Monday or whatever, the second or the third or the fourth? Set up the day of the week and the frequency, and then narrow, whittle down to an agreeable time for everybody. And as always, we've kept the privilege of being able to do them via Google Meets. It really is just a lot easier, and plus it's automatically recorded, and we're able to really leave a small footprint paper-wise instead of printing out all the board books and all of that. But it is always the board's decision whether we move to in-person meetings or remain virtual.
So maybe we should tackle that question first, and then that might help us with the establishment of a time. Board members, thoughts on remaining virtual or going back to in-person meetings? Thoughts on that?
So for me, I'm good with either. The only thing is if it was, the only thing that matters for me, honestly, is the time, because I have 8 o'clock classes in the morning. So it doesn't matter for in person or virtual. If it's at 8 o'clock, I wouldn't be able to be there. But yeah, I mean, I prefer in person, but virtual is obviously easier for, in case we have other things going on that we can't physically be there. So I say all that to say, I don't care if it's in person or virtual.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Hey, I know that Damon's problem is the 3 to 4 slot because he picks up his son. He's not on here. The only reason I'm bringing that up.
Well, but his son goes to McMichael now, and they pick up at 4. So I don't know
But
if
he'd have to leave in the middle of the meeting
right.
to get
Yeah.
there.
Right.
So I think his problem was just the time slot, not
Right.
the day or the whatever.
I agree. I'm pretty open. Larry, do you have a thought on virtual, or John versus in person?
I think virtual is easier to make. For me, I don't know about everybody else.
I think it keeps us somewhat accessible for our partners that are our city staff and city council members, and to get other folks on that need to be a part of it. I think that's the beauty of virtual, that it's pretty accessible. So I think we've been able to meet face to face when we've needed to, if we've had special call meetings. So so it sounds like Alex, you really do you prefer the face to face, but you're okay with virtual. So we may just stick with virtual moving forward.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Okay. And
And
then
attendance is really important to the city manager for the boards and committees. So I think virtual is easier to have quorum for action items, as well as just easier for people to have attendance,
Do we have everybody here today, quorum wise? I'm assuming.
We have a quorum. We are missing Damon and Tammy and Wanda.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think Tammy might be on that 512 number.
Oh, maybe.
she's on.
Oh, okay. Then we're not missing Tammy.
How this day seems to be a pretty good day for folks. Wednesdays are pretty good for me. So let's go to the day of the week. Is Wednesday still working out for folks, or is that sort of time dependent?
I would say Wednesday's fine with me. My schedule varies from semester to semester, but usually I'm done and available anytime after, 1 o'clock or so,
Okay.
especially for virtual. I may be at work, but I'll be available.
Right.
Yeah.
I texted Damon. He said that 2 p.m. would work for him on Wednesday if we kept it on the same Wednesday. Larry, is that bad for you?
It won't work for me next semester.
Okay. How about, Tuesday, Thursday? Are those better days for anybody?
Either one of those are fine too. Again, same time. I'm usually done by the afternoon.
Okay. Larry, how does 2 PM on a Tuesday or a Thursday work for you?
It should work okay.
Okay.
Tammy said she thinks she's muted. I don't know if she knows how to get it off, but she says she's okay with virtual as well.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tammy.
Is she the 512?
Yes.
I'm assuming so, yes. She said her work is sporadic. 2 p.m. is fine. And yes, she is the 512 number.
Okay, super.
She's just
Thank you
texting
for
me.
translating.
It won't let me unmute her from.
That's weird. Okay.
Sherry, with knowing your staff, how does 2 PM on a Tuesday work for you?
Perfect.
Okay. Why don't we give that a go? We could keep it in the same, I think currently we're in the third Wednesday of the month. And so we could go to the third Tuesday of the month at 2 PM and see if that, how that works.
Shay, does that
Yes.
start beginning next month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I will be in class on Tuesdays and Thursdays until 3 p.m. And this semester
Okay.
till the end of this semester.
All right. So, I know how it is, Larry. It's always it's a moving target when you're faculty. Let's see, because I really value your participation. We want to try to get as many people participating.
Spring semester is different.
Right.
Wednesdays are good this semester for me, and Wednesdays next semester after, I believe, 3 p.m. would be good.
Okay.
So right now though, Larry, it's good at this time, or 2 o'clock still good? Weren't you just saying that would change for next semester?
Wednesday right now, don't we meet at 3 now?
We
Yeah.
do.
But if we moved it to 2?
If we moved it to 2, that would be fine this semester.
Okay.
Next semester, it would not be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, John just said that in the chat. He said we could move it to 2 for now and then move it in the spring to Tuesdays.
That's
what John
fine.
said in the chat.
That's fine with me. I mean, I think that for Damon and even sometimes for me, like having it later in the day is trickier with kid pickup, but I can usually make it work. But if we could move it to 2 for Wednesdays for the remainder of this semester, and then with a plan to move it to 2 on Tuesday in the spring. Does that sound like that works for everyone?
We need it in a motion, please.
So could I have someone give us a motion for that agenda item?
Sure. I move to, at the moment, keep our time on, or keep it on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. To move it to 2 o'clock, and then at the end of the semester, in the spring semester, move it to Tuesdays at 2 o'clock.
Perfect. Second,
Second,
okay. We'll let John have that one. And those in favor of our new meeting time, indicate saying aye.
aye.
Wow, big victory. We have a meeting time set.
You just
Yeah.
accomplished a miracle.
Yes, it's a miracle. Okay. And I appreciate everyone's flexibility. I think that, people think the world is not as stable and static as it's been before. So I think this is a good plan.
I'll send
Okay.
a calendar invite this week.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Sherry. Well, I don't know about you all, but I can't wait to hear our staff reports because our staff have been doing great things. And so let's move on to the executive director's report.
Yes. First of all, I have some really great news to share with everybody. I've, of course, informed staff and Shay, but at this year's TACVB annual conference, that's Texas Association of Convention and Visitor Bureaus, we are what we do, the type of business we do. They've sort of moved away in the industry from CVBs to DMOs, destination marketing. And so for this past year, 2021, 2022, we were awarded second place in DMO of the year for budgets under $1 million in the entire state. So we are super proud of being picked out of the crowd. There are a lot of very talented CVBs out there that, the difference is sort of split between, budget sizes or, different things like that. So for us to be recognized and just sort of elevated to this tier is really something special. We do plan on announcing it to the public and doing a media release. We're just waiting for the new fiscal year to start so that we can certainly honor staff that work so hard to do the complete picture of balancing between programming for locals and visitors and a variety of events that that meet our standards of more cultural programming, more live music programming, different recognitions, how we dispense our what's happenings on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, how we post those in hotels and at drawing a blank, motorhome, huge deal.
Motorhomes of Texas.
Them and For Travel in their waiting rooms. But anyway, so yay us. And we will proudly take runner-up. First place was League City, just for your Gee Whiz bag. And for budgets over $1 million, it was Visit Bryan, or Destination Bryan. I can't remember what they are, but so yeah, that's really good. Right now we've wrapped up for the most part this past fiscal year. We still have the STAR report that we'll need to wait because that runs a month behind. I've included the most current STAR report in your board book. We are doing well. We were only down like 0.1% or something for August. But anecdotally, it's hard to find room in Nacogdoches. Last weekend and now family weekend at the university, everything is taken up. So, anecdotally, it looks like we're doing a good job of keeping hotels busy and everything. So some of our focuses for this next fiscal year, we're going to work on ad sales. We've got some ad space right now on our webpage. And then if you've been in the lobby of the visitor center, we have a TV that scrolls through some ad type things, and we're going to start charging for that space and maybe utilizing some video if we can, but we're really going to focus on that ad revenue. And I've found some cute little initiatives. One is similar to the Painted Rocks, but I found a quilted heart, and you have people donate, quilters or different groups and associations, just very simple hearts that are, quilted, and they have a ribbon, and people either make them themselves and then hang them up throughout the community. And they have a little tag on them that we could supply the people. And there's like a national website that they can go to. That's I Found a Quilted Heart. we would add to that label. I found a Quilted Heart in Nacogdoches, Texas, the oldest town in Texas. But visitors, when they're going through the Mize Gardens or wherever, can find those, and they can, like with the rocks, you can swap out rocks or take a rock and leave it in another destination or anything. So little initiatives like that, we're going to really focus when Ashley is back in the office full time. She's still transitioning. She and Joanna and I are going to go page by page through the new website. Magnificent Millie sort of came into the world before she was anticipated to. So a lot of things in the website transition kind of got lost in the shuffle, and we're happy for it. But we're going to go through and just clean up the loose ends in the website, and really beef up our meeting planner section of the website. Industry standards show us that the sentiment surveys do not indicate that business travel is going to come back soon. And it's just because companies that usually send their employees out traveling, because of the pandemic, they've found cheaper ways around that. So while that is kind of silent going on, we're going to prep up our available, our spreadsheets of available venues for them. How many people can it hold? Do you have to use in-house catering, or can you use outside catering? What are the internet connections? Are there outlets? That sort of thing. We can upload schematics. We can really get those meeting planners information that sort of drill down into just the details of what we're able to offer to groups coming into this area. So we're gonna be working on the files and content for them. Chris Hancock and I had a brief discussion about the move towards a visitor experience guide to replace a lot of our one-off brochures. So we're in the beginning talk of that, and I'm very hopeful that we can reach an agreement to make that happen, because I think it'll be, again, it consolidates things. I don't know, we're just really looking for ways to just recraft what we're doing. I think we do a lot of things really well. Other things for us seem to be a bit of a struggle. I have been in talks with one of our vendors called Meltwater. It's a cost to us of about $14,000 annually, and it is a media scrub. So it goes through everything and finds any news article, blog post, anything that we set up the buckets. So we've got Nacogdoches tourism, different phrasing and things that we have it look for, and then it returns that to us on a daily basis. And just to become really disillusioned with their business model. They're overcharging us. I came to find out once I started to talk to some of my peers, like in the Tyler's getting charged $9,500 for the same package that we have for $14,000. Their emphasis is on closing deals, and they motivate their sales staff with quotas, and they do anything that they can to try and help their employees make their quotas, and which is fine. Everybody needs to make money. I'm not contending that, but you can't let customer service fail. And quite frankly, they have, they've misled me. They've, things that they've said are false, and I just don't trust them anymore. And we are not in a position where we can make those kind of expenditures and just let it pass off. So those contracts are up at the end of February. So we will not be renewing with Meltwater unless you tell me to renew with Meltwater, in which I will begrudgingly do it. But staff certainly advises that we do not go with them. Ashley and I discussed, because in our finalization of our budget, we had cut out any funding for a promotional video. We're going to use some of that money that's left to contract with the Bat drone. And Ashley's working on the shot list and what we want that to look like, because we are overdue for an updated promotional video that we can use. So, and that's just, you know, a fraction of that 14,000 that we've scraped back. And then we're just going to save that money because we always seem to have, you know, an AC that goes out that's not under warranty, or, you know, we had our front door repaired and painted. That was $1,000, but, you know, $1,000 3 or 4 times throughout the fiscal year adds up for us. And so we're going to be tightening our belt and really kind of going back old school to sort of firm up those goals that we have, that we want to get better and check off our list. That concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
Sherry, that's just amazing about the award for the Bureau. And I will say that at TTA, we were challenged by a futurist, Jack Aldrich, to call ourselves Destination Leadership Organizations, because I really like that DLO. That sounds pretty good to me. But anyway, that's amazing. And I think y'all are making some really good choices when it comes to how we want to strategically spend our limited dollars. The only question I have was one of the things we looked at TTA was the fact that IPW is going to be in San Antonio in May of 2023.
Mhm.
And that is the U.S. Travel Association's premier inbound travel show. Hasn't been in Texas in 20 years. And there's to put it in perspective, it's super expensive to buy into it, and probably well outside of our budget. I mean, if Plano can't get in, we probably can't either. Mark was complaining about that, but they did say something that I would like for us to look at, maybe if we have a few dollars left over, which is the opportunity to showcase Nacogdoches blueberries at their farmers market stands they're going to have at their closing event. So maybe we can talk about that later, but I think y'all are on the right track otherwise. So, and I think I may have cut somebody off. I'm sorry about that.
Anyone else? Okay, well, I'll turn it over to Joanna.
Okay, hi, everybody. So I just want to follow up with what we experienced over the weekend. Amazing partnership with the Old Town Rig Down folks. They really leaned into the CVB and in assisting them and getting everything they needed. And we made it work. It was fabulous. I have an initial economic impact indicator from them, and we were very conservative in a lot of the inputs that we put, but it looks like it netted $271,800 in direct business sales to the community, of which, on top of which most of you already know, the Massey Rose Foundation contributed $220,000 to area nonprofits, which came directly from the entries of the rigs, as well as 2 contributors, big sponsors that gave a nice amount to that. So it benefited our OUB, which of course we are grateful for because that's part of our historic sites. The animal shelter, which of course is one of my faves, you know, animals first. And then it also went to the Christ Episcopal School, as well as, God, my memory, Boys and Girls Club. So I think each one of them got 50,000, and then the OUB got 70,000. So we saw Betty Shin was in here today, and she was thrilled and was grateful and surprised they gave her additional 20,000 the night of. So super, super cool event as far as I'm concerned. I had no idea what to expect as far as the visual and the feel of it. I thought, okay, big trucks, lights. It was amazing. And for those of you that didn't make it, I would encourage you to, if you have grandchildren or babies, bring them. They were like kids, we all were. It was amazing. The light show, and then you wander down to the concert and these trucks down there. I mean, it was like being inside of Alice in Wonderland. I can't describe it. It was so cool. And these people were salt of the earth. I mean, they were so gracious and so excited to be in Nacogdoches. We had guys from all over the United States, several of them driving down, one from Canada, Washington State, Wisconsin, and they all said it felt like home. And of course, that's what I always like as the kind of the middle person and event planner, is the best thing we can do experience wise for a visitor is to make them feel like this is the home away from home. Because then if that's the case, they may move here too. So anyway, great successful event. Very pleased to be a part of it. There were a lot.
Joanne,
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting, but this was our first run through with the estimated economic impact calculator. It's not our final number. So share it here with y'all at either the end of this week or the first of next week. It's one of those things where you have different forms to fill in, or different fields to
Mhm.
fill in. And so this was just with the data that we have collected at this point. And so that's why Joanna said that it's a conservative outlook.
Yeah.
This number will be changing. Rarely does it ever change in a downward way. Usually it always just goes up from there. So we'll be releasing the finalized EIC, economic impact, with the city manager and the mayor and you guys as soon as we have it tabulated. So this was just to give y'all sort of an estimate.
Right. And then what we have coming up this week, we have our September Snack Friday. We're going to feature a band, Scott Hampton out of Longview. The reason I mention it is they're big patriotic. I mean, they're country, but they're also have lots of love for our veterans. The guitar player plays his own special Star Spangled Banner. They asked for the veterans to stand up. I would really like to see butts in the seats, which would mean you guys, to help support this. The Knack Snack to me has been a wonderful addition for Fridays, but what's occurring is we've got a lot of other entities around town that are now supporting music, which is what and why we did the Knack Snack evening part of it. So I think we're going to change that up for 2023. It's not that it's going to necessarily go away. It's just going to have a different package to it. Sometimes that's all it needs. I just don't want us to continue to be putting out that kind of money when it's happening on a Friday. So I think we've accomplished our goal there in getting people downtown listening to music. I just don't want to be putting money somewhere when we don't have enough and work. Where folks aren't showing up. So if you could come support this band, it's a full band. Again, our guys over at Massey Motorsports and Tri-State have helped me secure the sponsorship for the entire year of Knack Snack. And so again, better use of sponsorship dollars potentially somewhere else. Knack Snack lunch may continue once a month. We'll talk about that. But not the music in the evening. So that's going to be Friday. The next morning, of course, we're going to have Art Fest, which will be downtown. This is a yearly event that has purposely been on the weekend of Parents' Day weekend or family weekend. Gives them something to do. We're going to have that on the square. So that's always a lot of fun. Brings out a lot of the local artists. It's just a lot of fun. So a nice back-to-back event. We've got a downtown merchants that's going to be cooking hamburgers outside during the same time period. So it'll be a bustling weekend for sure, back to back. And then moving forward, we have, before next meeting, we're going to have our full moon concert, I believe. And if we're not, the full moon concert is a 90s tribute grunge. You know, we're trying to appeal to our 30s and 40s and even the kids over at the school. We, again, you guys know we had 5 interns. They all said they'd be at it. I've even got some that are going to help volunteer, come back and volunteer. So I mentioned that is October 21st and 22nd, because I believe that'll be the week that we have also our next meeting, and I need volunteers. And so I'd love to see adults, and I'd love to see our board members be a participant and help us with that event. That's going to be both Friday and Saturday of the 21st and 22nd of October. Other than that, we do have a couple groups coming. They are, you know, more leisure driven associations. They're not until, we've got one in 23, which is the Daughters of the British Empire, all going to be staying over at the Fredonia. And we have the largest Ford Model A group coming, not until 2024, but we all know how these guys like to plan out. It's the largest one in the United States, so we're looking to have quite a few Model A's down here. We're going to try to see how we can highlight them for a visual for all of our Nacogdoches locals as well as guests. And beyond that, I think I'm good. I am done for today. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me.
I want to especially recognize Joanna and Ashley, but in this instance, just major props to Joanna. She really stepped up for the Struck event and was in the hip pocket of the event planners. She did an amazing job of liaisoning between them and the different entities. She really put her heart and soul and shoulder and kidney into making this happen. So thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
Joanna, what time is the music Friday night?
Oh God, Ash, is it 5:30, 6?
I think you said 6, but they might get started early because they're getting there at like 2 p.m.
Oh,
Yeah, they're getting here really early, and I told them it was going to be hotter and blazing, you know, Friday. But we're going to switch it up outside. We're going to put them, instead of on the stage, we're putting them in the shade across from the stage. So I told him, I sold him on the intimacy being on the ground with us, which I'm sure he's thinking, yeah, right. But we're going to just try to take advantage of the heat, and they're really cool, laid back. Can't wait to hear them. And I've got the guys coming out from the I just want more people to put especially if you have any reason to bring artists in to hear some of the acts that we're bringing in, because they're not all local, but they're regional, and giving them an opportunity. I mean, that's how we filled the stage at the Old Town Rig Down. Is they were our sponsor. They came out and heard them. They liked them, and then they were willing to pay these guys, none of which have ever been paid that much, to be on the stage this past weekend. This is that kind of band, and it's country. I mean, not my fan favorite, but I would never poo-poo if they're good. So I need some people that listen to country to tell me if they're good or not.
well, I know that it's NAC homecoming, so I think to promo to say, hey, don't go out to a restaurant because you don't want to, you know, Friday night before the game, come downtown. And that's going to be kind of my social media post is come
That's perfect.
downtown, hear the band before the game, because I know the game will be popular. So,
Yeah.
and one more thing quickly at TTA, Nacogdoches was recognized with all the other music friendly communities by the Texas Music Office, and that was really cool to see that we're ahead of Houston. Did y'all know that we beat Houston by being a music friendly community? And Tyler we beat, and Grant. I mean, they're all in process, but Houston was the most recent one to receive that designation. So all of our SFA students really cheered seeing Nacogdoches on the big screen as a music friendly community. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I think we were number 9, weren't we?
We're actually number 9, because when I found out we weren't in double digits now, I told them we're going to be number 9 because I
that's
wanted.
awesome.
Yeah, we stand at a precipice right now. For those of y'all that, keep your ear to the ground, in different quadrants of the state and what's happening. For the longest time, Austin had the Keep Austin Weird culture. And bit by bit, as Austin expands, though there are long-term businesses that are closing their doors, and the artists that sort of lived that way of life and that kind of community support of their endeavors are looking for different places to go. And I think Nacogdoches is a great place if we can really get the community to embrace sort of that artistic culture, to move on to Keep Nacogdoches Weird, or whatever that new iteration of it is. But I think there are displaced people of an artistic persuasion that are looking for a new home, and there's no reason that it shouldn't be here.
I was
Well-
going to say that according to the poster on Facebook, live music starts at 6 on
There you
Friday.
go. Okay. Well, in addition to what, just very quickly, what Sherry said, there is a, new Nacogdoches Arts Collaborative that I am working closely with is doing exactly what Sherry's speaking to. And that's just rounding up this God-given talent that we've got an abundance of here already and that continues to grow. And I want us to be a part of it because that's what makes the arts and the culture grow. And that is it's a direct impact to tourism. That's what people want to come see and experience. So, and if we can somehow, some way become a cultural arts designation city, more power to us.
Okay, new Mama Ashley.
Hello. I am so happy to be back. I'm really appreciative of Sherry's grace and the rest of the staff's just patience with me and transitioning back in. I'm sure you've all heard it, but it's hard to go back to work after maternity leave. You have this new thing taking up your whole life, and then you have to kind of shift your focus back to things that kind of pale in comparison. No offense, I love Nacogdoches, but Millie's my whole world now. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm definitely coming back full time, and I've enjoyed working with Natalie. She's our intern that has stuck around with us, and I'm so grateful for her. She's really helping me out with like the weekly what's happenings and the monthly as well. And she's also probably catching most of Joanna's craziness, and I'm just getting like little bits through the colander. So I'm just messing. So yeah, the Old Town Rigdown was huge for social media. I'm pretty sure we had our best performing posts from this event. Never in a million years did I think trucks on a street would get people excited, but it did, and people were really excited. We reached 95,000 accounts last week or this past weekend, which is insane because we have 15,000 likes on Facebook. That just happened last week as well. 16,000 followers. So, just a huge jump from our usual reach. So that's really exciting. We got a lot of new likes and followers in that as well. So that's always good. Just getting our name out there, exposing us to people, and making them realize, oh, Nacogdoches has got it going on. I just didn't know it. One of the posts had like 500 likes and 200 shares, just insane. I do want to give a shout out to my husband, Daniel. He is a drone pilot, and he works for Hydrex Environmental here in Nacogdoches. He has a personal drone that he used, and he got some awesome photos and some video footage as well that we can use for our upcoming promotional video and our website. So, and he did that free of charge because he's just a nice guy. So I just wanted to give him a little shout out. He's also always helping us out with our events. So Daniel is an honorary employee, and if you haven't met him yet, I think he's the bee's knees. anyways, and then let's see, our app downloads were up over 100% last week, and page views as well. So things are definitely popping off around here, social media wise, website wise. So that's always great to hear. You know, Nacogdoches is just a buzzworthy word right now. Let's see. Sorry, I have all these tabs open. Yeah, other than that, we're just moving along with the concert, and yeah, we could always use your help with volunteers and sharing the posts. Remember to like, share, and engage with posts because it helps us get to even more accounts, like I said. And I think that's it for me, unless anyone has any questions.
Glad you're back, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ashley.
Of course.
Is the birthday boy on this call?
I don't think he is. Usually Ashley helps him. We don't have a camera.
It's his birthday?
It's his
Yeah.
birthday and he's not telling anybody, but it's on Facebook.
I
but
put it on Facebook.
Oh my God. Okay. I cannot believe that. Anyway, his big report is he's had over 1,000 people in, I believe, for the month of August. Does he do it monthly or up to the day that we talk? Do y'all know?
yeah, up to the day.
Okay. So we've had over 1,000 since last time he spoke. You know, we had a couple come in for the Old Town Rig Down that flew all the way in from the Netherlands and has been here all weekend and into this week. So that was pretty cool. So as always, engaging and you know, Mike's doing his best, bragging about the big town of.
Yeah.
Center of the universe.
I can't believe it's his birthday.
Way to go, Joanna.
All right. Well, we're almost coming to our hour mark. So thank you all for those staff reports. I just want everyone on the call to know that beyond the honors from TACVB, that the folks at the Texas Travel Alliance know what's going on, all the good things going on in Nacogdoches, and really excited about all the great things that are happening here. So good job, everybody. Okay, we've got a new meeting time for next month, and Sherry's going to be sending that out. And beyond that, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys.